typical of Delhi temple. This is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Madan Adbhut Prabhu, do you remember the page number?
Yes. We were on page 178. We finished up to 177.
Okay.
So these are like the last 2 pages of that chapter. We have to wrap up. On this book.
Yeah, 177. It's the same.
Let me see. Yeah, the last. This is the page. Some key personalities. So we have to start from there. The next page.
Okay, bases we did, yep.
Yeah, we finished up to one. Yeah, so this page, right here. Guru Maharaj with Sarvapriya Prabhu. Yeah, we have to start.
Okay. Actually, we forgot in the beginning. Jagannath Priya Prabhu, would you like to say the pranam mantras of Guru? Start us off.
Prabhuji, you're on mute, Jagannath Prabhu.
Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Vasaya Bhutale Srimati Gopal Krishna Goswami Iti Namine Prabhupadasya Sahityam Ye Prakashre Vitrecha Pacharam Kutvena Sadhu Bhagavad Padayate Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Vasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatadi Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
So those of you who would like to read, please raise your hand, and then Madan Adbhut Prabhu, you can call them.
Yeah, and we'll read 3 paragraphs. So Geeta Devi Mataji has raised her hand first. So we can start with her.
Some key personalities taking care of base programs in Delhi are Ajanma Krishna Prabhu, Sarvapriya Prabhu, Ramabhadra Prabhu, Gopi Bhava Prabhu, and Sundar Gopal Prabhu. All dedicated workers, and there are many others too. But these 5 people are in charge of the 70 bases. It is really breakthrough work for our Sampradaya. This innovation, known as Base 2, originally successful in other parts of India, was inspired by Gopal Krishna Maharaj in Delhi and is spreading throughout Delhi at a phenomenal pace. As described, Base is a series of residential facilities for college students and young unmarried professionals, allowing them to integrate spiritual discipline with their academic or professional career. Generally, the people who live at these base centers take to Krishna consciousness in a more formal manner as time goes on. Thus, with numerous Delhi temples opening up on a regular basis, base and other outreach programs are particularly effective, growing day by day. Because of such endeavors, concludes Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Delhi has for some time now been number 1, not only in temple worship, but also in book distribution, and that includes temples and individuals from all around the world. Delhi is on top internationally. Prabhupada's books are going out more than ever before. Additionally, we have a lot of preaching programs in Delhi, and we are just getting started, frankly. There are at least 15,000 congregation devotees in Delhi if you combine the work of all our temples. You see, Prabhupada had this great desire that we have at least 1 permanent temple in Delhi and ideally many more. One day when I was going with Prabhupada to the airport and was sitting next to him, at that time he said that Delhi is one of the most important cities in Asia. I noted that. He had big plans for Delhi. It had been the place where he lived prior to coming west, and from which he began printing his Srimad Bhagavatam. He wanted it to thrive in terms of Krishna consciousness. It is already thriving materially, but it was lacking spiritual heart. Through Prabhupada's movement, it now has had that heart, not only in the main temple, but in all the temples opening throughout the city and in the homes of innumerable people, all by his grace. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Srimati Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Conclusion. Although the above are just a few of the ISKCON projects currently underway in Delhi, it should be clear that these are not simply places where people come to worship and monks have living quarters. Those may be the grassroots or foundational functions of these magnificent structures, but they also serve as basis for tremendous outreach programs such as BASE. ISKCON Delhi has developed patron member programs, youth forums, as described above, and general everyday functions for families and individuals from all strata of society. These projects enable devotees to share their wealth of Krishna consciousness outside temple borders. They hold corporate seminars in which devotees go to local businesses and offices, delivering lectures, holding kirtan, distributing books and prasadam, and making friends who then come to support temple functions. They visit jails and hold classes for prison inmates, wherein all of the above is replicated for those unfortunate enough to find themselves behind bars. Harinam Sankirtan, book and prasadam distribution, and so much more. So the internal world of Krishna consciousness can be fully shared with the outside world. I will repeat it. I feel that the time Prabhupada spent in Delhi is significant, says Gopal Krishna Maharaj, because it purified this place. That's why Krishna is giving us all success. It's not us. It is Prabhupada. It has his touch. It has to be him. Only he could accomplish this, because the success we are experiencing here is unprecedented. There's no place in the world with so many temples in one city. And again, it is only growing. He came here, he showed his mercy to this area, and it has his stamp on it. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gurudeva ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. So I think we'll be starting this afterward now. So Leela Krishna Prabhu is next.
Hare Krishna. While the development of ISKCON in Delhi could be seen as Gopala Krishna Maharaj raisins day tree, it is hardly his only area of interest. His jurisdiction spreads throughout India and beyond. Indeed, Prabhupada had early as asked him to establish a temple at Lord Chaitanya birthplace in Mayapur, and accordingly, once it was initiated by his ISKCON colleague. He was one of the temple's largest supporters. His unique contributions to Mayapur continue to play a role in terms of funding and offering inspirations to the Mammoth Temple of the Vedic Planetarium, TOVP projects, with the grand opening scheduled in 2024 now. The temple is being designated according to sacred architectural techniques described in the Puranas, with the huge cosmic chandeliers that replicated the manifest universe from the lower regions to the spiritual realm. When finished, the TOVP will be amongst the largest temple in the world, and it is expected to be a major tourist attraction on par with the Taj Mahal. Simply by seeing the outside of the temple declare its patterns, visitors will feel inspired to pursue a spiritual life. Meanwhile, by viewing the inside, all visitors will be enamored by the dazzling and informative display of the Vaishnava arts, science, and culture. In addition to this, Gopala Krishna Maharaj has extended his sphere of influence to others quarter as well. Other India projects. Throughout the subcontinents, one can feel Maharaj's presence, his devotional touch, which Prabhupada instilled in him through the affections and instructions as seen throughout this book. It will serve our purpose to briefly mention only a few of these projects or the more outstanding of them. One more paragraph, Prabhu?
That is 3, Prabhu. Yes.
3, okay. Thank you, Prabhu.
We can go to Premalila Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. For example, Hare Krishna land in Mumbai, Maharashtra is one of the most important ISKCON temples in all of India. Although the project is primarily identified with the work of Jayapataka Swami, Giriraj Swami and others, Gopal Krishna Maharaj also contributed to this massive heaven on earth project, a Vedic educational and cultural complex that opened in Juhu, Mumbai, as far back as 1978. The beautiful deities Sri Sri Radha Rasbihari Ji stand tall in ISKCON's history as among the most deeply regarded images of Krishna in all of India. Appended to this center too is the industrious Bhaktivedanta Mission School, also attributable in large part to the work of Gopal Krishna Maharaj. Not far from Mumbai, the Sri Sri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Temple in Kondhwa, Pune, also in Maharashtra, can be counted among his project as well. The origin of this mandir known as ISKCON's New Vedic Cultural Center (NVCC) dates back to 1995, when the now deceased Mr. Banerjee met with Gopal Krishna Maharaj, a meeting that resulted in the establishment of this temple and the worship of the region's most beautiful deities, Sri Sri Radha Vrindavan Chandra and Balaji, a replica of the Lord of Tirupati in South India. The temple's 6 acres are now used for multifarious devotional activities, originally nurtured under the spiritual guidance of ISKCON leader and Guru Radhanath Swami. The project was then developed further by Gopal Krishna Maharaj, who made sure that the project's Balaji temple was built in the mood and style of its famous counterpart in the south. This center in Pune is now also renowned for its restaurant and large prasadam hall, where close to 3,000 gather regularly for sacred edibles. Another important project in Maharaja's jurisdiction is underway in Jaipur, the city of Rajasthan, inaugurated in its present form in May 2018, but a long time in making. The Sri Sri Giridhari Dauji Mandir, which is a unique stained glass temple, graces this historically significant region, popularly known as tourist the Pink City. The magnificent temple structure itself, in fact, is made entirely from pink stone, though it is elegantly adorned with intricate and colorful stained glass work depicting the various avatar and image of Sri Chaitanya. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Rajiv Shamprabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat pranams to everyone on the call. Jaipur is renowned for its art and handicrafts, and so its use of stained glass to create a one-of-a-kind temple, a windows to the spiritual world art gallery, is nothing short of a genius. The idea of such a temple was conceived long ago, but was enlarged in recent years by Gopal Krishna Maharaj, who was aided in this by accomplished stained glass master Colin Greenwood from Melbourne, who met Srila Prabhupada himself in 1972. The Govinda's restaurant directly across from the temple is also frequently attended by locals and others from neighboring areas, including Jaipur's multitude of tourists. This temple is developing fast under Gopal Krishna Maharaj's direction, with householders making use of an ever-growing Bhakti Rickshaw program that has meetings at people's homes in various parts of the city, while the ISKCON Youth Forum IYF thrives in the vicinity as well. Nearby, Jodhpur in the Thar Desert region, so characteristic of Rajasthan, is home to yet another ISKCON center, the pre-processing Sri Sri Radha Govindaji deity, named after the central deity of Jaipur, was installed on Gita Jayanti in 2017, with the mayor and other notable dignitaries attending the festivities. The project extends into Udaipur, where Rath Yatra celebration was recently held near the Fateh Sagar Lake, much to the pleasure of the city's regulars. Newspaper and TV coverage was considered. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, Ranchor Prabhu.
Similarly, Hare Krishna, everybody. Similar projects would include the fabulously elegant temple in Ludhiana, a large industrial city in the North Indian state of Punjab. This ISKCON project has been dubbed the Glory of Punjab, complete with a state-of-the-art multimedia displays, a Vedic cultural museum, a Jagannath temple, and an open-air theater. Gopal Krishna Maharaj is beyond all of these projects and many others as well. Two final examples in terms of India would be the Kanpur project in Uttar Pradesh and the one at Kurukshetra, the sacred tract of land where Lord Krishna has spoken the eternal truths of the Bhagavad Gita to his dear devotee Arjuna. The temple in Kanpur is a monumental achievement. I was haunted by a particular statement made by Srila Prabhupada, says Devakinandan Das, Zonal Secretary for Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan, who puts the value of ISKCON Kanpur into perspective. We should certainly have center in Kanpur. These are Prabhupada's words. His divine grace mentioned that Kanpur was one of the most important cities in Uttar Pradesh, and that ISKCON must absolutely have a temple there. Hare Krishna.
Nityatripta Prabhu or Nityatripta Mataji. Something.
Hare Krishna, everyone. With this in mind, Devaki Nandan outdid himself to make the Kanpur effort a reality. In the end, it would be one of the largest ISKCON centers in the world, second only to the movement's world headquarters in Mayapur, West Bengal. Amassing numerous devotees who share his vision, Devaki Nandan beseeched congregational members to donate hard-earned funds conferred with architects and local officials to build the structure from the ground up, and even oversaw the planning and organization of the mammoth grand opening ceremony, which occurred amidst much celebration and fanfare in 2009. As a result of all this work, the huge Sri Sri Radha Madhav temple complex, designed by renowned Mumbai architect Prem Nath Ji, now stands as a proud beacon of devotional endeavor. The temple is essentially a 160,000 square foot white marble structure with 3 majestic domes and includes an ashram that can accommodate 200 resident monks. Also part of the complex is a guest house, a food for life center, community hall, Vaishnava training academy for youth, gift shop, Govinda's restaurant, a Goshala for cow protection, and a Bhakti Vedanta book library with attached conference hall. The premises spread out over 15 acres of garden and ponds and is located on the banks of the Ganges near Bithur, close to the birthplace of the great boy devotee Dhruv Maharaj and ashram of Ramayan author Valmiki. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vishnu Vallabh.
Hare Krishna, everybody. The other temple with massive potential is ISKCON Kurukshetra. This is still an upcoming project at this point, with origins that go back to the 1970s. Rapid progress is now being made thanks to Gopal Krishna Goswami. In 1975, Srila Prabhupada had planned to build a temple university in Kurukshetra, and Ambarisha Prabhu, Alfred Ford, had volunteered a considerable donation to help the project get underway. In fact, he had driven to Kurukshetra with Prabhupada and a group of interested devotees to find some land. The Guru and a handful of his disciples set out in 2 cars. Prabhupada rode in the first car with Harikesha, Gopal Krishna at Maharaja, and Hamsaduta. Immediately behind them was another car with Harisauri. Chaitya Guru and Ambarisha from Delhi. They traveled in a northern direction for about 3 hours until they reached their destination in Kurukshetra. Prabhupada took the devotees, including Gopala Krishna, to the village of Jyotisar in Kurukshetra and showed them the exact spot where Lord Krishna converts with his beloved Arjuna some 50 centuries earlier. Prabhupada and a few of us went to the place where Krishna spoke the Gita, says Ambarisha. The Guru's vision and the articulation of this transcendental event could have only come from personal realization. He spoke in no certain terms about where the battle and its various warriors stood and where Krishna had interacted with Arjuna. It was an incredibly serene, quiet, yet intense place. Ambarisha continued. Prabhupada said, the battle is perpetually going on here. It had an ancient aura about it. We stood there for a while, and Prabhupada said, this is the place I want to purchase land. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Some say that the banyan tree, still standing today, was also there when Krishna evoked his transcendental hymn. In fact, a plaque on the tree specifically says, the immortal banyan tree, witness to the celestial song Bhagavad Gita. Beneath the tree is a marble chariot with replicas of both Krishna and Arjuna. Other commemorative sites found today at Kurukshetra include the Sri Krishna Museum, which houses historical artifacts and paintings depicting scenes from the Mahabharata, as well as the Kurukshetra Panorama and Science Center, with elaborate exhibitions and working models that explain the Mahabharata in terms of science, technology, and culture. Unfortunately, the project had only developed in seed-like stages in Prabhupada's time, and thus its blossoming remained unrealized for many years. In 1996, however, ISKCON, to fulfill Prabhupada's desire, procured 6 acres in Jyotisar, just 100 yards from the area where the Bhagavad Gita was originally spoken. 2 years later, in April, Kaptan Singh Solanki, the then governor of Haryana and the Punjab, presided over a ceremony for a proposed Krishna Arjuna temple, assuring his audience that the sacred structure would indeed be erected for both Lord Krishna and Prabhupada wanted it. And so he said it will certainly come to pass. While waiting for the main temple to be finished, ISKCON established a small temple in nearby Thane River, a couple of miles from Brahma Sarovar, a well-known holy pond revered in the Kurukshetra region. However, the main temple, as stated, will eventually be in Jyotisar, as per Prabhupada's instructions, and thanks to Gopal Krishna Maharaj, it is now moving forward. The structure will be shaped in the form of a magnificent chariot in honor of Krishna and Arjuna's sacred conversation that took place in that very sacred space. It will be the only temple of its kind.
Thank you, Prabhu. I don't see any other hands up. Anybody else would like to continue?
I think, Prabhu, this is a perfect place to stop. We can stop here because next section starts with Russia.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhu.
If anyone has any comments, any thoughts, reflections on what we read today, please share them now.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I have a question. So the Kurukshetra temple is not ready yet, right? That means it's still ongoing process?
It's almost ready. It's the last time, actually, Guru Maharaj, before he became ill, the last time that he went, the main temple hall is finished. Basically the finishing work is going on. And some things still remain, like like the flooring needs to go in, and the grounds need to be nicely landscaped and things like that. But what the devotees there did is they built everything else first, the Brahmachari ashram, the restaurant, everything else first before building the temple. And it was some sort of a little reciprocation, transcendental, reciprocation, that it was purposely being delayed because this was this Kurukshetra project. Devotees say this, Guru Maharaj's senior disciples, they say that it's a last instruction of Srila Prabhupada that Guru Maharaj is fulfilling. And so devotees were purposefully delaying it. So that, because Guru Maharaj always says that he will fulfill all of Srila Prabhupada's instructions. And so out of kind of a transcendental affection, they were delaying it because they didn't want him to finish everything. Otherwise, Guru Maharaj may feel that, oh, now his work is finished. So, he's he could have been finished a long time ago, but it's now very magnificent. It's not just the temple, but like it's mentioned, the ashram there is as beautiful as the temple, probably in preparation for like a educational center, university. There's a big guest house, all of those things.
Hare Krishna, Brahma. Follow-up question: is it the same same location as Krishna?
No.
Sang, listen. Okay.
So the original land that Srila Prabhupada had chosen and that the devotees received, that had a stipulation that they had to build on it within a certain period of time. And they were not able to do that. Well, they did actually. They built a small structure, but still the government took it away. And now the land that they have is nearby, but it's right on the main road. So it's actually, in terms of preaching, it's far more accessible because Kurukshetra by itself, actually, if you go there, it's a very small town. It's like a village. It's a very small town. So the main way that people see the temple is the highway. There's a big highway with millions of cars going through. So now it's right on that throughway. So because of that, millions of people will see the temple. Otherwise, it was probably been hidden. So it was maybe Krishna's arrangement that happened.
We have seen that temple last year.
Wow.
Because Guru Maharaj said you should go and see the temple. So as we visited, we went to Kurukshetra and saw the temple in progress. Thank you for that.
Yes, no, it gives them great happiness. When devotees see that temple. I had one just reflection on the beginning part where Guru Maharaj was saying very clearly without any any reservation that how Delhi was number one in everything, like number one in books. Delhi in deity worship were number one, everything went number one. And someone may think, well, Guru Maharaj is so humble. How is it that he's just glorifying his project? And this is like a Guru Maharaj's feeling of transcendental competition. We see that even in the spiritual world, among the highest devotees, Srimati Radharani, Chandravali, there's even competition. So competition is a completely spiritual feeling. And I still recall one time Guru Maharaj was at the Bhaktivedanta Manor, and all of his god brothers were there. And like we are god brothers, and we joke with one another, we chide one another. They, on their level, are chiding one another, right? So Guru Maharaj is there, and he's there with, it was some big festival at Bhaktivedanta Manor. All the great Maharajas were there. Shivram Maharaj, maybe, there's a few more local Maharajas in that area, I'm forgetting. And Bhakti Charu Maharaj was there. And they were all sharing their reports. And Guru Maharaj just started. He said, Delhi was number one in book distribution. We have 14 temples. We have this. And then he said, in Ludhiana, one of his projects, we have the biggest Rath Yatra in the whole of India, which is true. If anyone's gone to Ludhiana, it's like the whole city comes for it. Like they come and they offer. And then this is the last thing that is mentioned. And then His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj, he stopped and he said, have you been to Calcutta Rath Yatra? And Guru Maharaj was silent. He said, "You've not been to Calcutta Rath Yatra. You cannot say that Ludhiana Rath Yatra is better than Calcutta Rath Yatra. We have the most number of people coming there." Finally, he found something. He was like, "No, we're number one in this," and he was sort of responding in his own way to and until the very end, until they were leaving the room, Bhakti Charu Maharaj kept on saying, "How can you say Calcutta Rath Yatra is number one? It's like something, no, in some area we are number one." So Guru Maharaj says this very often to create a mood of transcendental competition to inspire other devotees to engage in this spiritual competition. Just like many people, they do business for money, but many people, they do business for fun. It's like it's enjoyable to compete. In the same way, it's like spiritual life, like his service is his transcendental enjoyment. And but then at the end, he writes in that quote, Srila Prabhupada says, "But all of this is only because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy. None of this we have done." So he's completely situated in humility. He never takes credit for a single thing. But at the same time, the amazing thing is he has this transcendental mood of competition to inspire everyone to do more. Jagannath Priya Prabhu, maybe you have some more to say on that.
No, you describe it very nicely. I was just gonna say, I think Advaitacharya Prabhu also went, and I just came back. Kurukshetra temple, they're hoping to get it done end of the year, but it looks like it might be a little bit more than a year left. So Krishna willing, hopefully it will get done soon, because again, Guru Maharaj multiple times when I was there mentioned this is his big dream project. So all of us, if we want to help anyways, let me know, because this is, I think they still need a lot of help. And if devotees are somehow capable and want to give, let us know. We can help. All of us can help. Guru Maharaj, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Haribol Prabhu, just a quick question on the same Kurukshetra temple. So Prabhu, as you said that the temple is almost done, and Gopalgiri Prabhu, thank you so much for that update when you said that the Brahmana's ashram as well as the restaurant, the Prasad hall were built first, and the main temple is being built now. So hopefully with Lord Radhakrishna's blessings and Srila Prabhupada's mercy, the temple gets built for this Gita Jayanti and we all can go. But if it is not, I just wanted to get an understanding of what is left. How much is left for the temple to complete? For the temple, I'd heard earlier that it's being built in phases. So what else is left to be completed? Thank you.
And actually, yes, I would just like to correct myself on this point, that actually, but Guru Maharaj is very, very pleased when his disciples donate for that project, because it is his project. So I was mentioning how devotees were, feeling that they're in a mood that they were slowing it down, but it's not true. They're going full speed. But just that it's his last project that was specifically instructed by Srila Prabhupada. From what I heard. As far as completion, Jagannath Priya Prabhu or Advaitacharya Prabhu, do you have further details on what Prabhu was asking? From the last time that I went, it was just the finishing work. But it's a lot. It's a huge structure. So a lot of, and the horses are still being made, which are magnificent in the front. Those were not completed.
They were transported to Kurukshetra from Mumbai. So I think it's still about a year left to me. Advaitacharya Prabhu, I don't know. You spoke to Priya Govind Prabhu and Shakshi Gopal Prabhu also, correct?
Yeah, I think this project is a dream project, as everyone knows. All energies that Guru Maharaj right now usually using for this project to complete. And I'm sure the devotees who are involved in building the temple, they also have a lot of stress in their head, because one side is Guru Maharaj's health is not good and they wants to complete the project before something happens to Guru Maharaj. So I think this is like a fear kind of things. and they're working very hard. We discussed last time I was there. I said, well, at least let's finish the temple first. Forget about ashram and other things at the end, because Guru Maharaj does opening ceremony and participate. This is the most important because of health issues. So I think they all are understanding very well. They're trying to do as much as possible. I think the biggest hurdle is the money, Lakshmi. Lakshmi, I think, still is required. Plus, there's labor works also. So I think it's not going to complete in one year, looks like. But at least at the same time, if Guru Maharaj's health gets a little bit more concerned, and I think they will start to finish as early as possible. That's the plan. And I'm sure that somebody can find out more detailed information about latest. We can invite some person in charge building and can update us, but the main point right now is that, yes, as mentioned, whatever money that Guru Maharaj collects from North America, I think almost everything goes to the Kurukshetra project. All donations come every year from Maharaj and visit here, and devotees gives whatever $100 to $10,000. Almost all money goes for Kurukshetra project. So I think this is the time to really open the heart, open the pocket, and support as much as possible. Of course, sometimes we have to support our local temples too, and Mayapur temple also. But I think those people who love Guru Maharaj, I think they should really focus more on Kurukshetra.
And somebody mentioned on the call how to donate. You can write, if you want to get a text receipt for, if you're in USA, you can just write a check to ISKCON and send it to me. I usually make a note of it. I keep note of all the devotees who donated, and then I get a report from Delhi. So we just make sure all the Lakshmis is transferred correctly.
And
Yeah,
Guru Maharaj also notices who is donating the money. Is not that okay, it directly goes to Kurukshetra. It goes to Guru Maharaj, knows that this money coming from USA, this money coming from Canada. So I think that's the best way to really support Guru Maharaj at this point.
Yeah, Abhay Gaur Prabhu, who prints a report, he's a CFO for Delhi Temple, and he gets regular reports he sends to me, and then Guru Maharaj also looks at those reports. So please send a text to me, and I can help you with donating to Kurukshetra Temple.
Leela Krishna Prabhu.
Leela Krishna Prabhu.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I agree with what Gopal Hari Prabhu had with, and because I met Sakshi Gopal Prabhu last year and I spoke to him. I went to Kurukshetra. It's a lot of work. Definitely the money is the main thing. And as I think already covered, whatever the ways we should contribute. And it's a lot of work. I went to all the 3 different floors. I can accommodate up to more than 10,000 people in one floor itself. It's a huge to building that all the tiles and upward. But the way Prabhuji was explaining that is a huge, actually. It's a lot of work is still pending. I can see that it won't be finishing in 1 year. But the way they are showing all the pictures look, like I said, it's a magnificence. I think it's one of the best temple. So my other observations is in the beginning when we were reading about the base, right? I don't know how many of the people they know about this base, the 70 of the base in Delhi itself, right? And my nephew, he stayed in the base for 2 or 3 years. And it's a kind of program where most of the bachelors, and my nephew was the bachelor, and he's now brahmachari, dedicated and living in the Delhi temple itself. So when he started and he was explaining that it's very convenient for the bachelor's peoples and the college going people who cannot afford that renting apartments, right? So they are charging very minimum, actually. Very minimum when you say it's a 5,000 rupees only for entire accommodations and the 3-time meal. And only the restriction is you have to follow the 4 regulatory principles. So this, whatever the program is mentioned is very briefly, but if you go more deeper, the 70 places with each accommodation has 10 to 20 people, devotees is staying in. So if you're seeing that like 1,000 to 1,500 devotees are staying in the base and practicing the Krishna consciousness. And they have to follow that morning Mangal Aarti and everything. And then they go to the office and come back and eat prasad. So the mention thing was here. It's a very good program for anyone who was looking for accommodations and who is a devotee. Just connect with the base people. So that's what my observation is. Very, very nice. But it didn't give them much detail about what kind of program. Is very strictly like 4 regulatory principle. They have to chat, but the accommodation cost is very bare minimum. It's 4,000 or 5,000 rupees. In Delhi itself, to staying in that 5,000, it's impossible. But this is one of the good program Guru Maharaj started in Delhi itself. Thank you, Prabhu. Gopalari Prabhu, you want to say something on that?
Thank you. Yes. Well, no, thank you for pointing that out, because we were mentioning, there's the 17 is like massive temples, and then these bases are hundreds, like you're saying, hundreds around the whole Delhi area, in every major university, every major college. Like literally they don't leave a spot. Like every single college and university has them. And all these base students, then some of them that become full-time devotees, they filter into Radha Parthasarathi Mandir, the temple. And then they, some of them become servants of Guru Maharaj, some of them become, preachers there, like that. So it's really grassroots preaching. And just one little incident I remembered this time when I was there, in my mind it's still there. One of these base boys was there, and he was cleaning Guru Maharaj's room. Maybe I mentioned this last time, I don't remember. He's cleaning Guru Maharaj's room, and when Guru Maharaj goes to use the bathroom in the morning, then a group of them come. There's like 6 or 7 of them. So one of Guru Maharaj's servants was correcting one of these base boys. He wasn't cleaning properly. He wasn't doing something right. So he was correcting him, and he slightly raised his voice when he was correcting that boy. And it was loud enough where Guru Maharaj could hear in the bathroom when he was brushing his teeth. And Guru Maharaj's other servant was standing next to him. Someone's always with him. So he was helping Maharaj there. And this servant who was next to Guru Maharaj in the bathroom, he told me that Guru Maharaj turned over to him and he said, very lightly in a soft way, he said, these people, these boys, they leave their homes and they come to join the temple. These devotees, they come to join the temple, and they leave everything, they come here. And if we don't treat them gently, then they'll go away. We should treat them more gently. And then he just went on with his normal activities. But such concern, such love he had for them. So yeah, these are all young boys who, are joined in the college, and they become full-time devotees. Like we see Amog Leela Prabhu, all these people who now are like, stalwarts. This is where they start out from. And Guru Maharaj takes care of each and every one of them. He's so happy with them. Yeah. Thank you.
Definitely, you mentioned about Amog Leela Prabhu, and I think in one of the videos that was there in our WhatsApp chat with Guru Maharaj, our North America disciple chat, I think Maharaj was sitting. I don't know, like Maharaj was sitting, and on the screen, it was one of the interviews. I think Amog Leela Prabhu and interviewing Prabhu.
Yes.
So somehow I saw that in the video, and then other day when I was open my YouTube, that was the video that came up first, and so actually I saw that video. It was pretty nice. I mean, if you have not seen that, I think it is very nice. Amog Leela Prabhu is interviewing Gauranga Prabhu and sharing Gauranga Prabhu sharing his story. But it was interesting that Guru Maharaj was actually watching that as well. So.
Yeah, so it's such affection, right? He's watching his disciples preach and seeing their activities. Yes, and Guru Maharaj is very conscious of all of our preaching activities. Very conscious, like we may know or we may not know, but he knows, but he knows. Like he's very aware. Like there's a famous story of Srila Prabhupada where Bhurijan Prabhu was preaching in Hong Kong, and he had no money, and he was on the side of the road, somehow struggling to start Krishna consciousness there. And when he was really struggling, then there's no reports coming from there. And Srila Prabhupada, in the middle of doing something, started crying. And devotee said, what happened? Like tears came down his eye, and he said, my disciple in Hong Kong, Bhurijan, he's struggling so much for me. So in the same way, when we struggle for Guru Maharaj, he actually knows. And when he's pleased with a devotee service, he actually he knows that in his heart.
I think Krishna Prabhu is waiting. You have your hand raised.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Pranam. So Balakrishna Prabhu could not attend today. He's cooking for Food for Life. But we are very desirous of fulfilling our Guru Maharaj wish. So we will start fundraising money for Kurukshetra temple. It's just we need to know, we need to issue a donation receipt to the congregation who is donating, and then we will get back to you, Jagannath Priya Prabhu. Is that the way?
Yeah, just send me a message. Let's talk about it. Send me a message and we'll figure it out. Sure.
All right. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Any other comments, realizations?
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances at all of your lotus feet. All glories to Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. So yes, when Gopal Hari Prabhu was mentioning about Guru Maharaj taking care of these base, you call it, base devotees.
Yes.
I remember when I first met Guru Maharaj, I was 18, and he had just become GBC for Canada the year before, and everywhere he went, he would take me with him. Devotees, I had service in the temple. I was cleaning the toilets, washing the pots, and so on. And he would say, "No, just leave those. Come with me." And every program he had, and devotees back then they were arranging radio programs. So Guru Maharaj went to a place called Kitchener-Waterloo, which is halfway between Toronto and Detroit, and they arranged 2 or 3 radio programs for Guru Maharaj to speak, and he would take me to all those programs with him. So yes, he's very taking care of devotees, especially younger devotees or newer devotees, so that to encourage them so that they can become nice devotees. I just want to make that one comment. And also Gopal Hari Prabhu was talking about this transcendental competition that Guru Maharaj had with his god brothers. This is actually something that he got from his Guru Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada actually encouraged competition when I joined in Toronto. In those days, there were hardly any donations coming in. There was hardly any people of Indian descent living in Toronto. So it was mostly white-bodied devotees that were attending the temples, and they don't necessarily give donations. So we used to go out door to door selling paintings and candles and all kinds of things. And we would rent vans and we would go out to different locations. And when we come back, there would be a huge competition as to who collected the most for the temple. And usually the team that collected the most would get a gift. So we would hardly eat anything when we were out on the road, just so that we can bring back as much Lakshmi as possible to maintain the temple. And so that this competition, this transcendental competition, has been going on for many, many years. And Prabhupada really encouraged that to get his disciples to go out and do more and more and bigger things. So I just want to make those couple comments.
Thank you for sharing, Prabhu. It's so amazing. Yeah. We actually forget about those times when ISKCON was, not running based on big donations, and how Guru Maharaj at that time was inspiring Harinam and Sankirtan, the times that you're describing, and being so intimate with every devotee. Yes.
I'm sure Prabhu has his hand up.
Remind me one day to tell you about Mr. Ekadashi. Unless you want to hear about it now.
Yes, we want to hear it now. But Ranchor Prabhu, would you like to go? And then Bhakti Yoga Prabhu, we can hear it.
Yeah, Bhakti Yoga Prabhu can go first, and then I can speak after.
So when we used to go out and collect, selling paintings, etc., and wanting to bring back as much Lakshmi as possible to the temple, back in those days, there was one Vaishnava calendar that was printed from Mayapur or somewhere and sent to each temple across the world. And so we had one Vaishnava calendar. We didn't want to make photocopies because that's wasting money. So when we were out on the road, we wouldn't know when is Ekadashi. So we would make a collect call to the temple and we would ask for Mr. Ekadashi. And then the devotee who answered the phone would say, Mr. Ekadashi is not there, but call back tomorrow and you'll get him, or call back on Tuesday or whatever day. And so that way we would know when it's Ekadashi and we didn't have to pay. Eventually the phone company caught on to us. And when we would call, when we make a collect call, the operator said, they don't take collect calls. Or we would call, if we were out and we're coming back late, we're going to get back around 11 o'clock at night. We would make a collect call and ask for Mr. Prashadam. And then they'll say, Mr. Prashadam is not here. And then we'll say, can you tell him that I will call him back at 11 o'clock tonight? And so that means our Sankirtan party is arriving at 11, save Prasadam for us. Anyway, those were ways that we try to save Lakshmi. So, or we would go into the supermarket, like way up north where no devotees live, and we would buy produce, fruits or whatever. And then before we leave the store, we would offer the entire store. So that everybody who purchased after that, they're having prasadam. So. Anyway.
I heard that, Prabhu. I'd heard that before devotees would go in and offer the entire store.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah, we did that. We'd stand in the produce section, in the middle of the produce section, and say our prayers and offer the entire store. And don't get me started on the gasoline.
Ranchor Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to our Guru Maharaj. I just wanted to reemphasize the point that Bhakti Yoga Prabhu was making. As a youth, Guru Maharaj is very personal to me. He's still asking questions about my education, about my family, about my parents and my sister, and all of those things. It's very special because that care is still there. Even though he has so many responsibilities, so many temples, so many that he's still very caring to youth and still very loving to all of the younger devotees. That's what I've seen and heard from other youth as well. Like just because youth maybe aren't like the biggest management positions doesn't mean like that he doesn't prioritize us any less. So I think I really appreciated a lot of him, and I've received so much mercy in that way. And I'd also, off of what Bhakti Yoga was saying, on behalf of my generation, everyone else, I think we sometimes forget how much the early generations had to struggle so much just to build like what we take for granted now. Like I have like 4 or 5 Vaishnava calendars in my house. But I'm realizing that that was not always something that was as available in those days. So yeah, just thank you to all the devotees who have made it so much easier for our generation. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for that nice comment, Prabhu. Yeah, I think your very connection with with Guru Maharaj is very exemplary of how loving he is towards youth and towards people. Would you like to share your story of how you came in connection? Like it's amazing actually that how you became attracted to my Guru Maharaj. Just share that if you can, please.
Yeah, sure. So about 2 years ago, I was at a point where I was chanting 16 rounds, but I was looking for initiation, looking for a spiritual master. And I don't remember if I looked Guru Maharaj up or it was YouTube recommendations, but I stumbled on his lecture somehow. And then a couple of months after I listened to Guru Maharaj's lectures, there was one lecture in particular that struck me very, very deeply, and I decided like I would want to take initiation from him. And then about a year later, my mom was able to meet Amrita Keli Mataji from Salt Lake City, and she got me connected to this Sangha. And then last year in Detroit, I took shelter, and in December, I took initiation. So throughout all of that, he's been very, very merciful to me throughout. So that's Hare Krishna.
Prabhus, I have a great idea. Maybe every week we get one devotee to say how they came to Krishna consciousness and how they met Guru Maharaj and the circumstances. I think that would be great to know. I don't know, just a suggestion.
Yes, that's a great idea, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, I just want to add, I think Gopal already knows, but yeah, I think we had the good fortune of going to Columbus last weekend and meeting Ranshore Prabhu. I mean, I've met him before initiation. Actually, I remember just before his initiation, I met him because I was in Columbus, and he was mentioning to me, and he again, like a youth, he's exemplary, like you said, and inspiring all the other kids and youth in Columbus. He takes, his mother takes care of the Sunday school, so when she is not available, he takes care of that. And last weekend, it was just by coincidence, like we were planning to go to the Columbus Temple, and when I saw the email, it was Ranshore Prabhu who was giving the class. So he spoke on Bhagavad Gita 9.18, role of God. So I know that lecture is still not finished. He was able to just do just four words in the shloka, but it was amazing. And it was so nice to have your association once again, Ranshore Prabhu. As Ranshore Prabhu now, I knew him as Rahul Rajaram before, but now as Ranshore Prabhu. So, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, wonderful. And I was just thinking that the whole relationship started just by hearing Guru Maharaj's lectures on YouTube. Imagine, see the potency, like just hearing him on YouTube, and he decided to, follow Guru Maharaj. So amazing, huh? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I need all the blessings of the Vaishnavas here to continue. Hare Krishna.
Advaitacharya Prabhu, would you like to give, Rajesh Prabhu, and then after that, Advaitacharya Prabhu. Rajesh Prabhu.
You're speaking, you're on mute, Rajesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Gopal Prabhu and all the devotees, this is Raghupati Das from the UK.
Hare Krishna.
When you were doing your PhD here, long back. I think that was last time Guru Maharaj came to the UK in 2009, when we went to the airport, Heathrow Airport, and then that's it. That was the last meeting. Since then, he stopped coming to the UK. Right. What I wanted to say, because you are on the topic of lectures. So on Guru Maharaj's app, GKG app, we have lectures from 1982 onwards, up to say very current, very presently. So there are literally hundreds of lectures there, and they're very, very potent. So I've heard the lectures starting from 1982. Now I'm in year 2004. Hundreds of lectures there, very, very potent. What I find that there's kind of a gap. So we got lectures in 80s and 90s, which are good in numbers. But in year 2000 onwards, there are like every year there are maybe 2 or 3 lectures. So I would like to request the devotees, if they have any lectures, I think they should get in touch with the Guru Maharaj's team in Delhi and send them from anywhere. If there's any collection of lectures in Hindi, English, they should just send them so that they go in the GKG app, and everyone can take advantage of that. But it looks like it's very thin towards 2000 onwards. And there are not many lectures. So I just wanted to maybe just make an appeal, because I don't believe that for 1 year you will have only 2 lectures of Guru Maharaj. There are many, many lectures, not only 2 lectures or 3 lectures. There will be dozens of lectures for a year. Thank you, Prabhu. Nice seeing you, and it's very, very inspiring to be part of this program. Actually, inspired by this program, we started our own in the evening. So we have 7:30 reading in the evening. So I just come here, and then we have our own program in the UK where we gather the devotees, but we do a little bit differently. I ask the devotees to read, like you asked, and then meditate and maybe just bring 1 or 2 points from the reading, so that we reflect what we just read. So a little bit different, but it's more or less inspired by what you're doing here. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. No, this one is we all are doing it. It's a group initiative. I kind of moderate it a little bit, maybe sometimes, but really it's a group initiative. And thank you, Prabhu, for reminding us on this. It's actually a great need. Guru Maharaj's lectures are missing. They need to be added. So people who have that, that skill, and they can find the lectures. And if you have lectures, we can add it to this app, which is so nice now. It's all in one place. Technology is helping us. Guru Maharaj always wanted a database of his lectures and a database of his disciples. But because it's so oceanic, it was always hard to do. And so the more we can collect those, the better it will be. So, yeah. Thank you for reminding us of that.
Prabhu, there was one early disciple of Guru Maharaj in Toronto. His name was Balaram Prabhu, who is no longer active. He taped all of Guru Maharaj's classes. Back then it was cassette tapes. And he had started something called Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj's tape ministry. And he had many, many tapes, every lecture that happened in Canada, at least. Because he had connections with the other temples where he was getting those lectures. And they were given to Nishingananda Prabhu. So maybe you might want to check, because I don't see those lectures anywhere. They're from 1982 onwards. Okay. And I don't see them anywhere. So maybe ask Nishingananda Prabhu, he's in Florida. Ask him what happened to those, because when this devotee became less active, we asked him for all the tapes. And Nishingananda Prabhu was the person who took that. So maybe find out from him what happened to them.
Okay, yes. And like the older ones are there. It's the middle period that is missing. And then recent lectures are also getting recorded really well ever since Facebook and stuff, they went live. But there's some years in the middle. So on this group, many of us may have like our own recordings of when Guru Maharaj came to New Jersey or this program or that program. And if we have them, then we can, make sure that they're on YouTube and like connect them. I think also there's the YouTube page of Guru Maharaj, and putting on YouTube is oftentimes the easiest because everyone can access that easily. So yes, that I will check, but also the middle years, those are missing.
One of the reasons why the middle years are missing, I think, is because of when the zonal acharya system came crashing down, and it was shunned upon by devotees, senior devotees, for others to make tapes of their guru's classes, etc. It was a difficult period in ISKCON. And so that's one of the reasons why there would be many missing, those missing years. And it is the missing years for ISKCON as well. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Actually, Narasimhan Prabhu has that collections, I believe, and he wants to have some responsible persons to take that project. And I think there is nobody's there. See, nowadays we do not have good organizations in that regard, and that's a lot of people have treasure in their house, and some of them may be getting lost because time goes on, things goes away. Same thing about memories. A lot of people out of memories. Now, when you try to remember 20, 30 years ago, how much you can remember. So I think best things to do, that whatever that has should be recorded, should be used, put somewhere. So at least in the future, when it's going to be very, very helpful for the new devotees, newcomers, that they do not have any information much about it. And it could be very enjoyable. So I think, yes, needs to have good organizations, and unfortunately we do not have it. We started for last 20 years ago to get some database, but we do not have good leadership among disciples that can really take over. And that's why I think it's not done properly. So I think right now, I think it's getting done. So I think whatever that material that we have, whatever informations we have, whatever memory we have, you have to record it and send it. I think just like when you have your experience that you travel with Guru Maharaj and Bhakti Yoga has a lot of memory, but as time goes on, he's going to forget also, and it's done. And there's a lot of treasure actually. So it needs to be done something that way. But yes, I think almost every, even middle part is nothing lost. Wherever Guru Maharaj has gone, somebody has recorded the lecture. With somebody's home is sitting there. I think that's Vidura Das Prabhu in Baltimore. Whenever he came, he recorded all the lectures. But it was like a tape record, right? So now it maybe disappears or destroyed. So I think that needs to be really reviving things. And so I think second point was that, yeah, if you can, 5-10 minutes, somebody says how they became devotees, how they got initiated from Guru Maharaj, is very nice experience to share with the people who do not have that information. So that's another good point to do. I know we have time restrained, there are a lot of things to do. A lot of people are busy. I mean, if you look at how many people attending reading the books and attending Janardhan Maharaj's class, we see all these things. I think everybody's busy, but I think somehow this is going to be very helpful for the spiritual advancement. I think this is important to do it. So I think as a leaders, we need to get things organized and done more efficiently. And as far as the Guru Maharaj's health is concerned, I think is a little better. We had a little bit slacking in our meeting. Day before yesterday, we met with the Delhi devotees, the doctor's devotee, and USA also. So I think we're going to get more involved in what you call communications. And at this point, Guru Maharaj is still a little sick and weak, I think. But only thing is that a lot of devotees don't understand. Everybody thinks that Guru Maharaj is doing great, and now looks like he's back to normal activities. So I think we still needs to have some restraint on our part. People should not, practically locally, people should not involve Guru Maharaj in so many activities, because Guru Maharaj's nature is to always fulfill everybody's desire. And so he still needs a lot of rest. We cannot, what you call, restrain him, but I think because when somebody invites, somebody wants to see him, they will allow, and I think he's not getting enough rest. So that's a little one side from devotee's point of view. But overall, he's getting better.
Thank you, Prabhu, for that update and for that guidance. I think this is a good time to stop, unless someone has any final comment to make.
So one final thing, there in Delhi, there is a GKG media team, Vigyan Vihari Prabhu. So if again, anyone needs information, they have a lot of recorded audios. He's willing to put everything together. They have a group of devotees that do that in Delhi. So let me know again, just send me a message, and then we'll somehow get it. Whatever videos you have, audio files, pictures, they said, just give it to them and they'll put it together and put it on an app or put it in archives.
Can we do like that in North America? 1 or 2 persons can be involved in this project, and Canada 1 or 2 persons can involve, and we can collect and then get directly to that main person in Delhi, and that will be more organized way.
Okay.
So that's if we can do. Everybody can have something, photographs or pictures or memories. We can create on North America, means USA one side, Canada one side, and then collect together and then transfer all the information together, rather than me sending something and he sending something. That's suggestions. We need persons who have, we need the person who have technological information also, how to do it.
Sure, we can do it. We can, let me talk to a few people, Gopal Hari Prabhu, we can talk offline and we can we can come up with a central way to collect all this information. Sure.
Yeah, database too, I think, right? I'm sure we have some, but I'm not sure how updated it is. And actually, if you can put down initiated name, or Karmi names, your occupations, then you develop more relationship also. I mean, we see each other on our group. How many times we know each other? We just know by the names. We do not know much more detail about Gopal Hari Prabhu or other devotees. That's how the relationship develops more, when you know the persons more in details. So that needs to be done, something like that.
So Guru Maharaj had asked me to start a database back in 1999 or 98, which I did. And I was in Mayapur at the time. So I collected as many names as I could and pictures. So I have the initiated name, year, date of first initiation, date of second initiation, place of initiation, all these pertinent information. And then at some point, an office was opened up in Delhi Temple, a GKG office. And so I gave that entire database to Janardhan Maharaj to give to them. But I still have the database. I have several thousand names on it. Yeah, from North America, like the entire world. I had created a website that I had it on, but and I had asked on that website if devotees they see anything that needs to be changed, let me know. But nobody's communicating with me, and eventually I took it down. But I still have all the data in my computer.
So Ananda Bhakti Mataji in Delhi, actually, she's centrally collecting all of this information. So I think she, again, I just saw her a few weeks ago while I was there. And she was requesting all the new initiated disciples to send their information in. So she's the one who's responsible for putting the whole database for all disciples, Russia, US, India. So I think it's best we send information to her. Collectively, again, we can collect and then we can send it to her.
So I think 4 or 5 devotees from our group here take some initiations. Those who are more expert, have more little time extra and desire, then work together, can be done. One more project.
Yes, Prabhu, and actually this what Jagannath Priya Prabhu is saying is actually very nice, because now we have a very solid permanent office in Delhi that takes care of all the technical things. So like you're saying, from our side, all we need to do is just collect it and send it to them, because that's what they're asking from us. So maybe on the group, Jagannath Priya Prabhu, we can share the contact details of the two, the media team and the database team, shared on the group. And we will also collect, like Vaitacharya Prabhu was saying, but then also the information is there, so any devotee who feels inspired and has something can also directly send it to them. The worst thing that will happen is they'll get 2 copies of it, and they'll notice that it's 2 copies. So both things we can do is give that information to devotees to send their materials there, and also we can collect.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. So next week we'll continue reading just like this. And thank you, Madan Advait Prabhu, for these nice exercises that you have for us. It really brings it to life. And like this time we see, because that's what we were reading about, we saw the different places in Delhi. It was very, very inspiring. Shri Gurudev ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
All of you ki jai.
Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna. Hare Om.